It had been almost 2 years since I'd last laid eyes on my grandfather's old cabin by Pine Hollow Lake. Between the chaos of city contracts, site inspections, and endless paperwork, the idea of driving 3 hours into the woods just to sweep out spiders always fell to the bottom of my list. But this time, my wife Emily had pinned me down, half joking, half dead serious, and made me promise, no more excuses. So, I finally cleared my schedule, loaded up the SUV with snacks, mosquito spray, and our son Luke's handheld console, and hit the road. As the truck rolled along the pine-lined lane that curved toward the water, my chest actually fluttered. That old place sat on 3 gorgeous acres of lakefront. A rough old cabin with a heart of oak, like a prizefighter gone soft but still dangerous if you pushed him. The plan was simple: check the roof, check the foundation. Dream up a renovation plan that wouldn't bankrupt us. Maybe even catch a fish or two with Luke. But as we rounded the final bend, I knew instantly something was wrong. There, parked bold as day in the gravel drive, sat a shiny black Range Rover, and a bright red crossover next to it. Emily leaned forward, eyes narrowed. "Ethan, is someone living here?" Before I could answer, movement on the deck caught my eye. 2 women in swimsuits clinked glasses of white wine beneath my grandfather's ancient pergola. Laughter rolled across my property like an insult. A giggling kid wrapped in a beach towel darted past the deck steps, nearly colliding with Luke's wide-eyed stare from the back seat. I killed the engine and stepped out slowly, my pulse roaring in my ears. Was I about to break up a misunderstanding or stumble into the strangest squatter's party in the Midwest? A man in board shorts and flip-flops approached, grinning like I was an expected guest. "Hey, you must be the next family. Miss Penelope said you might swing by early." I blinked. "I'm sorry, the next what?" "The next renters," he said proudly, holding up his phone. "Penelope Graves booked us through her private site. She said she runs this place for the HOA since the old owner's family moved away." I stared at the screen. There it was, my cabin, my porch, my rusty charcoal grill. Listed as Lakeview Hideaway, managed by Penelope G., community host. Rate, $250 a night, with a weekly discount. Emily slipped beside me, voice low and sharp. "Ethan, this is your grandfather's cabin. What the hell is this?" I didn't answer. I was still trying to comprehend the insanity. Penelope Graves, that name I knew too well. The self-appointed queen of the Maple Shores HOA. Notorious for passive-aggressive newsletters and reporting people for decorative gnomes. I handed the phone back to the stunned vacationer. "Finish your weekend. But you're gone Monday. I'm the actual owner." His mouth fell open. "Wait, so you're not part of the rental?" "Nope. But Penelope is about to learn who is." That night, I barely slept. Not because of the old mattress. I hadn't even unrolled my sleeping bag. No, I lay on the dusty living room rug, laptop burning my thighs as I combed through site after site. There it was, my cabin, listed on half a dozen short-term rental platforms. Same glossy photos, same drone shots I never took, same gushing reviews. Perfect weekend spot. Penelope was amazing. Best cabin at Maple Shores HOA, 5 stars. My head pounded. She'd turned my family's cabin into a cash cow and draped it in twinkle lights and fake community charm. The next morning, while Emily took Luke into town for supplies, I called every rental site listed. Gave them every ID number and listing link. Each polite rep confirmed the same. "Yes, it's active." "No." They couldn't reveal host info beyond Penelope G. Mid-afternoon, I stomped around the yard, cataloging all her improvements: fresh solar path lights, new flower beds, even new decking planks. None of it approved. None of it hers. Then, as if conjured by my rage, I heard the signature click-clack of cheap heels on gravel. I turned, and there she was, Penelope Graves herself. Platinum bob, massive sunglasses, HOA logo polo shirt, the smug aura of someone who thinks the word president makes her untouchable. She didn't even flinch at the sight of me. "Oh, Mr. Carter. I didn't know you'd be using the cabin this weekend. Normally, check-ins are on Fridays." "Cut it," I snapped. "This is my property. You never asked. You never told me. And you've been pocketing the rent for almost 2 years." Her smile barely dipped, but her tone sharpened, each word like frosted glass. "You abandoned this cabin. The community needed someone to manage it. I've enhanced its value. You should be thanking me." I laughed bitterly. "You'll be thanking a judge when I'm done. I'm calling the guests." The police. And a lawyer. That one hit. Her lips pressed thin behind her designer gloss. Do what you must. But Maple Shore's policy supports me. The neighborhood loves this cabin now. I stepped closer. We'll see what the law says about that. She spun on her heel and stalked away like she hadn't just admitted to orchestrating the easiest burglary in county history. I didn't waste a second. First thing next morning, every lock got swapped, doors, shed, boathouse. I put up 6 new no trespassing signs. Parked my old F-150 sideways across the drive like a blockade. Subtlety was dead. Penelope had made this war. Mid-afternoon, I heard tires on gravel again. I turned, drill still in hand. Penelope, flanked by 2 rent-a-cops in black polos stamped HOA security. One chewed gum so loud I almost laughed. The other wore wraparound shades like a third-rate action star. Mr. Carter, she cooed, voice tight. We have a family due at 5. We need access. I leaned on the gate. No one's checking in. Ever again. Gum chewer stepped up. Sir, you're interfering with HOA operations. Buddy, this cabin's not HOA property. Never was. Never will be. Penelope clicked her pen, scribbled furiously. We have maintenance expenses. Community standards. Standards don't override a title deed. I shot back. I have cameras. I have proof. Try me. Her mask slipped for half a heartbeat. Then the ice returned. I'm calling the sheriff. Perfect. Been meaning to introduce myself. 20 minutes later, Deputy Harris arrived. Young. Polite, clearly bored until he clocked the scene. 2 puffed-up security wannabes, an angry man with a power drill, and Penelope rehearsing her victim speech. She launched in. This man is refusing legitimate guests. He's threatening our staff. I handed Harris my license, title deed, a binder of screenshots, and a notarized letter from my lawyer. Harris flipped through, eyes widening. Ma'am, he said slowly, this cabin is Mr. Carter's sole property. There's no lease. No HOA jurisdiction. You're trespassing. She started her next monologue, but he raised a finger. One more incident, and I'll personally write the citations. Got it. Her face twisted. But she left, her goons trailing like sad mall cops. One battle won. But the war needed a nuke. I called in my ace, Mark Russo, my old college buddy, now a corporate lawyer with the blandest smile money could buy. Perfect undercover bait. Mark booked a weekend through Penelope's listing under a fake name. She bid immediately emails, digital welcome packets, all claiming she owned the cabin via HOA trust. She even attached a forged property access agreement with my fake signature. Mark forwarded every word to me. For the kill shot, Mark checked in with a hidden GoPro. Right on cue. Penelope's assistant, Linda Price, arrived in a shiny Lexus. Welcome. Linda gushed, handing him a folder. Penelope sends her best. She owns this place now. It's part of the HOA's exclusive stay portfolio. Mark nodded, playing tourist. So no old owner lurking around, right? Linda laughed. He moved away ages ago. It's all legal. Boom. Fraud. On video. But I still needed to know where my cabin's makeover money had come from. A week with the HOA's public budgets told me everything. Thousands of dollars labeled shared lake amenities and community gathering gazebo, all funneled straight into my porch, my dock, my new patio lights. I found the final nail from Paul Novak, the ex-HOA treasurer. We met at a diner, where he whispered over black coffee. She used HOA dues for your upgrades. Fudge the addresses. And by the way, she has a fraud record. Nevada. Wire fraud. Changed her name to Graves so no one catch it. I sat back, cold. This was bigger than petty theft. This was organized fraud. The trap snapped shut at 2:43 a.m. on a Wednesday. I was wide awake, chugging bad coffee, when my security cam pinged. Motion detected. Backyard. 3 heat signatures. One blob carried bolt cutters. Another had a clipboard. A flashlight beam flickered across my fence. I peeked out and nearly spit my coffee. Leading her incompetent heist crew in leggings and a hoodie embroidered with HOA president in Comic Sans. Penelope Graves. I flicked on my porch cam, hit record, and called 911 loud enough for them to hear. Yes, hi? 3 trespassers. One's my HOA president. Bolt cutters in hand. The bolts snapped. They slipped into my yard, whispering about a surprise inspection. I stepped onto the porch, floodlights blazing. Evening, folks, I called. Bit late for a property audit, don't you think? They froze like toddlers caught stealing cookies. Penelope straightened her clipboard. This is an official HOA compliance check. I laughed. You're about to meet another official. Where's a badge? Red and blue lights flooded the lawn. Deputy Harris stepped out, hand already on his cuffs. Penelope Graves. You are under arrest for trespassing, fraud, and attempted unlawful entry. She shrieked. Linda whimpered. The third stooge raised his hands so fast he nearly threw out his shoulder. In court. She wore a navy suit 3 sizes too smug. Her lawyer babbled about good faith stewardship. My lawyer, Paul Keller, just laid out the evidence. Forged documents, video proof, stolen funds. Her Nevada fraud conviction. The jury laughed when we played Linda's "He Moved Away" clip. Verdict? Guilty. Civil and criminal counts. Sentence: 1 year probation, 500 hours of community service. Full restitution, $95,000, barred from any HOA position forever. 3 weeks later, we threw a block party at my real cabin, the Unbooking Barbecue. Neighbors grilled hot dogs. Luke taught the other kids how to skip stones, and Emily unveiled my new sign on the gate. Private property. Not for rent. Not for HOA. If your name is Penelope, turn around. Below that, trespassers will be fed to the koi. Seriously. Deputy Harris asked for a selfie next to it. As dusk fell over Pine Hollow, I sat back on my porch, listening to the lake and laughter. No more bogus bookings. No more secret listings. Just peace, family, and twinkle lights I actually approved. And if Penelope ever shows her face again, well, the koi are always hungry.